problem. I'm just opening it only now. SQL, join, order of execution of SQI, character and worker, database. How do we decide when to create a new table versus using more columns? Okay. That's all? Okay. Gmeet, 1 minute. What is a data abstraction? What is a data integrity? What is the atomicity of a data? What's to give a live demo of using SQL commands? Why don't we use DB in our computers for file accessing instead of the file-based system? What's the difference between physical, logical, and low level of abstractions? Okay, good. I expected Suhail. Oh, this is from Suhail, right? Are we to wait for some more people? Anybody interested in this, or we should start now?
I don't. Uji, sir.
Sorry? UG.
Uzi was also there. I don't know what he's doing right now.
Oh, that's okay. If they are coming, it is okay. We shouldn't be waiting for somebody who's not yet planning to come. So, Yulungo, how are you?
Sir, I'm doing good, sir. Thank you. How about you, sir?
I'm great. I'm enjoying my holidays.
Oh, great, sir. Everybody came? Any holiday people?
No, nobody came.
Okay. How's your health, sir?
My health is good. I'm good. I'm able to do my walking in the morning and able to cook myself for the breakfast. Last 2 days, I'm about taking care of myself.
Great, sir.
I'm planning to come to Chennai. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys.
Sir, when are you coming?
Paradox. I will come little before Paradox. I will probably visit some temple and pilgrimage, and I'll be in IIT campus for 4th to 7th, 3 days.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
I'm planning to spend time in the hostel.
Okay, okay. Anyhow, Paradox, you're coming, right, sir?
Sorry?
Paradox, you're coming, right?
Yeah, in Paradox only. During the Paradox period, I thought I will probably spend time in the hostel to see how things have changed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. I'm coming.
He's in Chennai only,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I'm at Chennai, sir.
Okay, I will connect with you later if I need any help. Of course,
Yes, yes, sir. Anything, just call me, sir. I'll support you.
my sister, she may be
Sir,
there.
we can start, sir. We can start. I don't think Uji will join.
That's
I don't
all.
know. He's not picking the call.
If one of you guys record it and then share it, it is all.
Yes.
All right. Now, who has gone through first 1 week videos? Who has gone?
Yes.
Alexius, Shiva, and has gone through. All right. No, that's okay. What have you understood? one of you can say, what is the delta? This delta report is the key thing in life. On predefined periods, we must ask ourselves, what is that I have learned that I didn't know in the last period? For example, you can start on a weekly basis, every Sunday at least, before meeting Baskaran in these meetings. Ask yourself, last week I met him. In this 7 days I spent my life, I enjoyed or I suffered or probably I experienced my life. What is the delta? How is Suhail different on 11th of May compared to 4th of May? Yeah, that's a very vague term, right? That everybody can give, correct? Everybody, the ant on this house, the cockroach in your kitchen can also say, I learned more. Can you quantify it? What was the question? Question. Okay, what is the answer you are giving? No, you did not say I learned this. You said I have done this. You are telling me the process that kept you busy for the last 7 days. What I asked was, what is the difference? What is the difference in you, in your knowledge? No. Can you be more specific? Because whatever answer you are giving, take a minute and say, can anybody else give this answer? Anybody can. Now, so where is the difference? If you say, I have learned how to express something as a data in a normal file compared to database, or you say, I understood the meaning of relational database. This is the example. This is what is not a database. This is what a database is. I can explain. If you say that, then you have learned something. Correct? Now think like this. Whenever you are answering questions from me, always think, am I giving the right answer for the question? Or am I giving indications to arrive at the answers? Am I giving the answer or am I talking about something else? Do you see the difference? This is how you can be effective in your life. So always pay attention to the question, and before giving the answer, ask yourself, review. Is this really the question that I'm answering? When somebody is asking what is the delta, have I understood what is meaning of delta? If I have not, I should ask a question to clarify that. These kind of a effort, this is a cycle that you have to practice within yourself. Say, let's plan and do it on a weekly basis. Take a minute and think, what is that actually? What is that I know today that I didn't know last week? It could be anything. I mean, not necessarily these things. Every minute, we are all learning many, many things, right? Maybe you didn't know how to make a proper omelette. You today know, correct? That is a learning. You could have said that, look, Bhaskar, I didn't know. Now I know. This is how I learned. That is not required. But if you tell me something, I mean, the discussion right now, what I am interested in communicating you people are how to evaluate your own capabilities clearly, identify what you are learning so that you can continue to learn more effectively in life. It's a general motherhood statement. Bhaskaran will say, hey, keep making observations, collect intelligence, and you become knowledgeable. That's a motherhood statement, right? How do I become intelligent compared to last week? Did I become intelligent? What are the areas? What the knowledge that I have learned? Did this knowledge not exist last week? At which moment and which process helped me to acquire that knowledge? Once I know this, I am consciously aware of my current status, and I know the cause for the difference between the last week and this week. I know what creates those differences. Since I know the current status, I know the rate of change with respect to last week and this week, I know what caused it. I can look for those and keep learning and keep moving and making progress. Correct? Imagine putting it in a graph paper. X axis is a time, y axis is your knowledge. You are in a dot position. And week wise, if you put the, I know where I was, I know what rate I am doing now, and I know exactly what brought me from last week to this week. If I know this, anywhere in this plane I can reach. Correct? Yeah. At the age of 45, I want to be a CEO. Then I can break it down. If I got to be a CEO, I should have this knowledge, this knowledge. I should know about psychology. I should know a little bit about finance. I should know something in technology. Correct? This is the time I will do, and this is subject I will pick up, and then this is what I should practice. That is in terms of acquiring knowledge. Skill. Okay, not only knowing the knowledge, I should have the ability to probably practice and then apply the knowledge. That is a skill. I should pick up some activities like this, whether I get a job or not, I will continue to develop, keep deploying it in my life around. So then I will choose for a, later I will tell you guys how to probably identify which company to work for and then how to pitch, how to go on and make them probably make you an offer. You should give them a chance to make you an offer. Correct? Then the job will come, and in the job also you can do a similar. If you are effective in what you want to do, the world is under your control. If you are not aware, you are under its control and then you become a slave. So the whole process starts in being aware of what we are, where we are, how we are changing, and what causes the changes. Nothing but a calculus. If you want to abstract it and put it in a graph paper, it will look like a calculus. What I'm teaching you is calculus of going from one point to another point. Just I'm applying it into your real life. Your point here is on the time frame, your knowledge in the y-axis, time frame is x-axis. Most of the time we are not aware. You really don't check what I know, what I don't know. And Once you start practicing that, you will know how to learn. Okay? This is a broader guidelines. I want you guys to start applying it every Sunday. Write down what I know that I did not know before. You should be honest. Yes, I really didn't know how to make an omelette. It was coming horrible. Now I am making a much tastier omelette. Precisely this is what I am my changes. This I learned when I made that along with my mother or auntie. I made this and I made a goof up. I corrected it. It became all right. Now I know exactly how to make a good omelette. You go into the detail, introspect, identify, then you know exactly the value of that extra salt or a chili, that or a quality of whatever ingredient you added. That will help you to identify, yes, when I solve a problem like this in this AQ or maybe this past year questions, I got stuck. I had to go through this, and then I discovered this. Yeah, this is the way that it should be solved. I saw the connection between these concepts and the problem. That kind of identification is essential for growth. Now, with that as a background, I will go through the problems that you guys have probably asked. I'll see how I can keep related to this. Now, since the question is specifically on SQL, I presume you know what you have done some problems on SQL or something.
Yes, sir. Sir, I've watched the recorded, like previous recorded lectures on their servers. This Piyush sir was explaining SQL and how to work on PG admin. So
Okay,
along
all right,
with him only, I also practice this only.
all right. Now, all of you have installed PG admin, so you have some table there.
Yes, sir.
The table which is given in the I would say IIT data set, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the difference between where and having in SQL? When should I use each one? Can somebody try answer this? Look, your answer need not be a perfect. You need not be correct answers. At least there will be an attempt to give an answer, isn't it?
Sir, from how the sir was using this where and having clause, like what I understood was like where is when like we want to check only one identity, is it? From one identity we are checking if it is present or not.
Okay.
Have, and having is like we are selecting entire this attribute and then we are working on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Let's break down the SQL structure itself. Okay. I think I have talked about it last meeting, right? When I introduced what is a SQL, I did say give some definition or some description of what SQL is. Anybody able to recollect? Just think. Give me 2 minutes. I need to switch on the lights and come. Okay.
Okay.
Keep thinking, or among yourselves, you keep talking. I'll just move to the next room to switch on the light and come.
Anyone remember what's the thought in that video? Right. Sohail, hello. Like, have you completed the lectures or that was uploaded on the portal? Graded assignment is not addictive. Not seen those. Okay. Hey, you said you are doing the prerequisite of this DBMS. What are you doing for that? Acha, acha. Yes, I have taken Mad one also. Hmm. What are you doing for Mad one project? Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I will join. You say?
It's been quiet. Are you guys there? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Could you go back and look at the old records? What did I say about SQL? What is it? Yeah, that's a definition. Then did I give some description or some example of it's a structured query language? Structure in the sense it is in, there is a structure, right? What is the structure there? You are selecting, yeah, you are selecting certain attributes from a table which meet the certain conditions. Correct? This is the basically three things are one, what you want, from where.
Oh, sir, one request, sir. Can you please turn your laptop, yeah, this iPad screen?
Why?
As it is in portrait mode in this meet, sir.
So let it be know what's the problem.
If you turn it in landscape, it will like extend. The screen will become large.
Yeah, okay, but this thing will again I got download, upload, and all. Yeah, I
No,
will
no,
done.
sir.
No?
Ha, it is open. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, fine.
Yeah, okay, okay. So from where conditions con- these three are the essential stuff, of course. You need to know what you want. Suppose I tell Shivam to pick the name of students who are attending Paradox. Correct? Now, I need to tell him what to pick. Correct? Should he pick the name? Should he pick up this, say, name and grade? Should he pick up the name and the city where the people are? What is that I am interested in? Correct? So that you say first select. Here you say what you want. Then you say from to where 3 condition. Okay. This follows the structure. Now I can say select name, city from a table where the name and city are available. Okay. Suppose there is a list. Imagine that there is a list of all the students that who have registered in the seekers group. In that list, there is a name, there is a city. Okay. It's assuming that the list's there in the Excel sheet or a Google sheet. So he is going to select the name and city from the table or a sheet, Google sheet. It is a table, it is a database. Now, where is a condition. Now, do I ask them what was my task to Shivam? Shivam, prepare and give me the name and city of students who are attending Paradox. So, the information whether they are attending in Paradox should be a part of the table. So, there is some information in the table which he has to check. So, imagine the table contains name, city, maybe the course taken, and somewhere Paradox, yes or no. Here, here name comes different names, city will be different, courses will be different when the Paradox yes or no is given. No, yes, correct? If that is the table, what he will write here is select name and city from the table called, this table is called, the sheet is called, say, seekers group. Now name from seekers group where Paradox is equal to yes. This becomes a SQL. It is complete in the sense it tells you what is that you are interested and where is the data available and what conditions should be satisfied for you need to select the data. So if this table contains say 100 students and every student will have a name, every student will have a city, each student will have the course, and he has got the Paradox field which is saying yes or no. So if there are only 25 students who have got a yes in the Paradox column, which means 25 students are who are planning to attend the Paradox. And this query SQL will get those 25 which says Paradox is equal to yes. That is the meaning of this SQL. Okay. Now, in addition to, I can tell Shivam, hey Shivam, when you pick all those people who are attending Paradox and sort them by the name. if I want only that information. I mean, I want that information to be given to me in the ascending order of the name. Then I would write SQL like this: select name, city from, I'm just making up a name, Google table, where paradox equal to yes. Okay. Order by name ascending. Okay, let me now say a few things. This is a keyword. From is a keyword. Where is a keyword. Order by is a keyword. Ascending is a keyword. Okay. When I say keyword, the SQL parser or a compiler or interpreter will look for this, and this is a command for the interpreter itself. So your file name, these are all your field attributes name. This is a file name, right? This is an attribute name. This is also an attribute name. Attribute means a table contains a header, right? A table or a file will have a header for the each column. They are called attributes. Is that clear, or you want me to explain what is the meaning of attribute?
Attributes are the name of the column, sir.
Name of the column. Yeah, basically it is, if there is a, if I put the data about people in a table, suppose here we are talking about the people's data in a table called a Google table, right? Then obviously there is a row which represents a person, and the person has got a name, and he has got a city, he has got the courses, and he is probably status of the paradox, and blah blah blah, mom, whether he is married or not, whatever information. So this whole thing is a row captures or and represents a physical entity in the world. Correct? Each row corresponds to a person in this planet. He has got a name, and he happened to be registered in Seekers, so his name appears here, and his city. The second row will be for a second person, third person. Correct? And each person's, we are measuring some details, some attribute, some quality. Everybody comes with the name, we have the name. Everybody has a place to stay, so that is a city. Since it is the Seekers group connected to IIT, obviously they are doing some course, so the course comes in the course column. And this 2025, whether he probably is attending or not, that status is different for each person, so that comes in the paradox. The person may be married or unmarried, so that comes in the married or unmarried column. So everybody has some data. These are all the things that we measure about the person, and this we are measuring for another person, and we put them together and call that as a table. Another way of visualizing is, this is a vector. These are all different dimensions. If I got a 50 column, it is a vector of 50 dimension. A vector represents a person's detail. I am choosing by measuring or checking whether a particular dimension is meeting the criteria or not. That's what we are doing here. Here, I am only checking one dimension. If he is attending a paradox, that record should be selected. It is included in my output. Otherwise, it is not. So I'm only looking at one dimension for verification whether to include or not. If I have, I could also have, he should be attending the paradox and he is a married person. In which case, then I would have written where paradox is equal to yes and married is also equal to yes. I will use the another verb called and. Okay. So like this, there are some verbs. Select is one verb, from is a verb, where is a verb, order by, and, or. This is a list of all the verbs. You can look at it. You can probably Google SQL verbs or reserved words. You will get the list. You can make the sense out of that. That's not a problem. Okay? Yes, they are a case insensitive. But these are all implementation dependent. When I say implementation, there are few, like Oracle has got SQL supporting database. MySQL is from, I think, Microsoft. Okay, and PG admin has got its own. Everybody, whoever is coming out and giving a database software, obviously has to respect the overall structure, what has been agreed by when many companies together and then come up and set up a standard. That is a SQL standard. SQL numbers, version numbers will be released. So they will follow that. In addition, they may have some extra features which will probably be applicable only for that version. Those variations, you can check it out. So whatever we learn, if you are tomorrow going to use an Oracle database, there will be variations, slight variations will be there. But by and large, the verbs will be identical, but some minor variations will be there. That will be what we call it as an implementation dependent ones. When you run it on IBM, it will be different. IBM database will be different. Slightly, it will be having some extra verb, which may not be available in Oracle. Or Oracle will have something which is not available in PG admin. But they will be normally very few. By and large, at least for the course, most of the verbs that we are going to read will be uniform everywhere. There is not a variation. And everybody today accepts case insensitive. Once upon a time, it used to be case sensitive. 25 years back, people had all kinds of variations. I used to have a problem now I know, I see everybody is case insensitive. It doesn't matter. Case insensitive for the verbs, but when it comes to the data, it will be case sensitive. Like example here, if I said that paradox is equal to capital Y, it will check in the file the data should be capital Y. If it is a small lowercase y, it will not get selected. You understand the difference? Okay. So in the data, it will be case sensitive. Whereas when it comes to the commands, there can be, this will be, you can write as an order or you can write it as an order like this. That's okay. All right. Yeah. I just slightly built it. When I started with the select from where, then I put an order by. I could also ask Shivam, I am not interested in the total. I mean the details. I want city-wise how many students are attending paradox. Then what he has to probably put, select from where Since I asked for not ordered by the name wise, this is not required. In which case he will write a SQL like this: select city, okay, and from Google table where paradox is equal to y, he will use another word called group by city. Okay. What happens is, if he uses a group by, the output, instead of giving, say, oh, now I need a blank page. I'll come back to the questions afterwards. Oh, oh. Hey, wait. This is repeating, right? Yeah.
It is adding the last page. Okay.
Yeah, it adds the last page. So let me color this.
You can change the templates. Add.
Okay. So this is what anyway wanted, right? Okay. What was I talking about? Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to take an example of what the students' names could come. So in which case, say I'm just giving a ABC from Delhi. Suppose we are picking up select name, city, blah blah blah. Okay. So ABC is the name of the guy, Delhi. Then another guy called DEF, say from Delhi, and 1, 2, 3 from Calcutta. It will come like this, right? Now, if I want city wise, then group by city. Finally, I would say group by city. In which case, wherever the Delhi fellow, first it will come Calcutta, 1, 2, 3. The output will be, in which case, 1, 2, 3 Calcutta, then ABC Delhi, DEF Delhi, 3, 4, 5 Mumbai. Basically, wherever the Delhi fellows, even if there is a Delhi, suppose there is this, 6, 7, 8 is Delhi, he will come here 6, 7, 8 first. All the Delhi fellows will come first. I mean, group together, irrespective of their order. Wherever the Delhi is there, if they will come together, Calcutta will come against first Calcutta, and it will get ordered. This is how I will get. Basically, I'm grouping all the people from that grouping word I have given. They will be put together in one place, so that I will have the list more meaningful. Now, instead, I can also ask, I don't want the detail, select count. If I use this command, select count, inside I'll put a star. Okay. Group by city, my output will be Calcutta 1, Delhi, how many are there? 3, Mumbai 1. This will be my output. What basically I have asked in this is, I am not interested the details. I'm only interested in the number of students who are attending Paradox from each city. That is what I am achieving by this command. Select count star from table where Paradox is equal to y, group by city. Are you clear about what I'm saying? Okay, order by city is simply order. Group by will be giving you the count also. Normally, when you group them together, the example which I gave earlier without a count is similar to order by, in which case, okay? But the key difference is when you group it, you can do some aggregations, like you can take the sum of it, count of it, average of it. Okay, these are the group operations you can do on the data. Okay, if you are not doing a group operation, group by and order by is more or less same. Whenever we use a group, we use one of those aggregate functions, like we count city wise, or if there are multiple applications or multiple entries of the same name. Suppose I want to know how many people have the same name, right? Shivam is in Surat, another Shivam can be there in Calcutta, right? There could be a Shivam in, say, Calicut. So suppose we are interested, I just want to know how many students share the same name. In which case I could probably say select count star from Google Sheet having paradox equal to y, group by name. I will get, yes, correct. I will be able to count, right? That is a count coming. Now, suppose assuming that I have a grade also, grade for each student, or a CGPA or whatever is there, and I want to know the average of the city wise. So I could say group by city and select, no, select average of grade. Here I can write average grade, group by city. Then I will have a city wise. Mumbai CGPA average is 7.5. Delhi, it's a 9.8. Whatever. So these operations are possible. I can take the sum, assuming this is in the data is about the employee. Okay, and there is the basic salary, and the I could say select sum of salary from employee table where designation above grade 4, group by designation. I will get everybody who is grade 4 and above. Each grade wise, what is the total salary that I got to pay? You get it? So I can do all this kind of operations on the fly or on the go. So that is where the aggregation or group by functions. There are few functions like you can take a count, you can take a sum, you can take an average, you can pick up the maximum, you can pick up the minimum. Yes, they will be useful. I mean, you will have some, testing also like that. There will be, say, salary of people in the university. One questions will come like this: select the teacher whose salary is above the minimum, sorry, above the maximum in a biology department. Okay, that's interesting, right? Select the name of professors, name of teacher from from teacher table where salary salary greater than, okay, here we don't know something. Here what you can write is you can put a nested select. Okay, so I'm writing this here: select max salary from teachers table where department is equal to biology, group by department. Okay,
Sir, can you please explain this group by department? What is this doing over here?
sorry,
This group by department.
this group here I said because I'm picking up the maximum, so I cannot use this command unless I group. Yeah, but I'm selecting only one group, so I will get only one answer. I will not, this will give me only one number, right? What will be the output for this? No, I am grouping by where the department is only biology. Correct. I will have only one number, right? That value will come here. Where?
We can, we can simply filter. We can
No,
simply filter it out.
no, no. Look, if I don't put the group by, I cannot use the max. This max is allowed only if I have a group by. Correct. Correct. If I don't put the group by, I will get, suppose biology professor, but there are 5 professors, 5 teachers. I will get 5 records. Correct. If I don't have this, I will. There are 5 people, so obviously I will get 5 records, and they, of course, they are not a maximum. Then I have to simply say only the salary. Select salary from teachers table where department is equal to biology. I will get 5 records. But I'm not interested in 5. I want the maximum out of the 5. So I use this group by and I use the command max.
Sir, so whenever we use aggregate function, we use this group by this
Correct.
command.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Okay. So, but by this, I am forcing the output to be only one number, which I can put here. So the whole command will come here. Then this will pick up only all the teachers whose salary is greater than everybody in the biology department. Since I put a equal also, I will get one teacher from one or two few teachers who got the maximum in biology. and the others whoever has got more than biology. You get that? This kind of manipulations, or I would say selective extraction from the table, is possible. The whole thing is only we are extracting something from the vast amount of data available in the database using some logic. Okay, that is on the SQL part. Now, why did I get into this? Okay, now you okay. I mean, I was basically explaining where the where comes as a part of the primary function. Okay. Now I also introduced you grouping. If I do grouping, I can put a condition after the grouping also, because originally where I'm selecting depending on the raw data. What I mean by raw data? This, yeah, this, yeah. After this, when if I use the group command, imagine this is not a. I'm assuming that this command was not there. Suppose select max salary from teachers table group by department. What do you expect the output from here? Biology, maximum salary, say 1,55,000. Computer science, 2,75,000. Correct? Finance, maybe 3 lakh. This is what I will get, because basically it will select for each department highest. Correct? Now I'm not interested in anyone which department has less than 2 lakhs. Then I can say group by having max salary greater than or equal to 2 lakhs. In which case this output will not come. I will get only computer and finance. The having command is a condition on the grouped data, not on the. You understood?
Can you please repeat again, sir?
Yeah. The having command is applicable on the group data, not on the raw data.
Yes, yes.
Whereas where command is on the raw data. Okay, this where is on the raw data. So there are two type of conditions you can put. Select from where. Where means is a condition on the raw table. And afterwards, if you are having a group command, after grouping, you want to select few or eliminate few. There you use having. So having clause comes only if there is a group by. If there is no group by word, having will not be there. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is a difference or a distinction between having and where.
I mean, sir, it is necessary to have this having clause over there after group by.
No, not necessary. If you want,
Okay.
you see, where and having is all optional. If I give a, yeah, if I can simply select from a table, select name of student from Google Sheet will give me all the students' name in the Google Sheet, Google table, whatever the Shivam's table. If he is maintaining a table of all the seekers student, I'll get all the name.
Yes.
Where I will put only if I want few which meets those condition. That is where we are selecting those which meet the predefined condition. And the presentation is by ordering or grouping. Those are all presentation. And if you are grouping, after grouping, we might probably make some selection out of that. That is where we are using the having condition. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Sir.
so that is okay. Where do I use a join instead of writing multiple select step? Oh, okay. What do you mean by join?
Joining two tables.
Basically, what we are saying is the data what I'm interested is in available multiple tables. So I'm selecting, say, the student's name from one table, but the student that there are additional details related to the student in some other table, maybe his address. There is another table where probably his course details are available. So I have to join them, correct? So my select is a one single statement. I am selecting. Select is a command which is supposed to result in an answer, output. That output is going to come from multiple tables. So I need to have a mechanism or a logic of how do I connect one table's record to another one? How am I going to say what is the relation between them? There that I use the join. For example, students and courses. There is a student table, course. Students table, I have a student ID, name. Suppose this is the student master, that's nothing else. Course contains student ID, course ID, name, course name. So here I may have a student ID as A001, name is Suhail, A002, Shivam, A003, Ilango. Student ID is A001, course ID is CS001, name may be database management. But Suhail is taking more courses. So A001, CS002, this may be PDSA or something. A001, CS003, this can be MLF. Then A002, Shivam is taking CS001, database management. Like this, there are records, right?
Yes.
Now, if I want to know the students who have taken database, how do I take? I want the name of the student. Student's name is available in this table, and the student's course material detail is in this table, correct?
Yes, sir.
I want to know the list of students. I mean, I want to prepare a list or names of the students who have taken DBMS in this term. How will I select?
First, sir, we will select this student from the table of the student. We will take the ID, and then in the course table, we'll check with the ID. We can check who have taken the DBMS.
Yeah, if I'm not having a complicated, DBMS SQL power, if this is the way the data has been originally kept, what I would do is I will pick up all the student names who are having the course ID equal to database, correct? And I will get a list of various, and then I will pick the names.
Yes, yes,
That will be two steps, right?
yes, yes.
Now, that once upon a time, maybe that was the way that the data were done. Okay. Now, when we have all these facilities and then extensions and powerful way of doing it, the new way of doing us, current way of doing is we join the table. There is a concept of a joining the table. How do we join? We join by, there are three types of joins.
So can you do Cartesian product of both?
Yes, that is the first one. One is a Cartesian. Okay. Basically, you take one record from here, take all the record for that, and then take the second record, take all the records here. Which means if I have a three records here, and here I have 100, when I do Cartesian, I will have a 300. What it means is I will get A001 Suhail repeated 100 times for each one of this fellow. And then for A002 Shivam, all the hundreds will be repeated here. So, like this, Ilango, I will have another 300 records. So, I will get 300 records. Out of the 300 record, then I can choose what is meeting, what is not meeting, all those things. So, a Cartesian product is a simple joint. Second, I can give natural joint. These are all the commands. Natural joint. Natural joint will check whether there are some attributes common. Here it is a student ID. Here is also student ID. So for a student ID here, it will check whether there is any entry here. They will get picked up. Then the second student ID, if there is anything matching, that will get picked up. So in this case, if I put as natural, what I will get is A001 Suhail. Since he has taken three courses, or three, I will get three records. Three times I will get. This will become what is the CS1, CS2, CS3, right? There is no other matching. There is no other A001. So I will get only 3 times Suhail, whereas when it comes to 002, Shivam, right?
Yes.
Shivam, I will have, maybe assuming that there is one more. And when it comes to Ilambo, maybe he has taken only DBMS. Okay? So only this many I will get. Basically, it picks up wherever there is a match. Suppose if there is my name, suppose A004 PBN, and it was, I have not taken any course, I will not get listed because it is not matching. There should be a matching of this data with this data for the same common name. Okay? That is called a natural join. If there are multiple names matching, suppose student, here also student ID, here is also something called a name, then it will try matching this also. It should also match. So natural joint is a little tricky. You've got to be very careful that the table's attribute names must be checked. Because when you say natural join, the system will check whether the name of the attributes are identical. If there is nothing identical, you will not get any output. For
Sir, one
when
question, sir.
1 minute. So
Okay, sir.
for here, if you are probably put the student ID with the student hyphen ID, here you have mentioned student dot ID. Since they are not equal, I will get nothing when I say natural, because there is nothing naturally, there is no attribute which is common between these two tables. The attribute name must be identical, and the values, wherever there is a match, they will pick up only those. That is what the way natural join works. Okay. Yeah, now you ask me the question.
Uh, now I have two questions, sir. The first question is, suppose in the student table I have four attributes, and in course table I have six attributes, and three attributes in student table is same as three attributes in course table, but the entries are not matching. Will we get output for that?
No, attributes, look, attribute is only to check whether the data there should be matching or not. If the data doesn't match, it will not pick up.
Sir, if the data in the first one is in uppercase and in course it is in lowercase, still it will match.
No, data always is case sensitive.
Okay. Yes.
Here I put a capital A, here if I put a lowercase a, they are not same.
Okay.
Okay, data will be always case sensitive. Command can be case insensitive. Okay.
Oh,
So okay, that is a two join which I talked about. The other join is inner join. Okay, inner join is you are specifying which field to check. Maybe here it is called a student ID. Here it is, can be some other spelling for a different reason, right? So you could say wherever this is equal to this, so you can selectively choose. I can say student ID is equal to this, maybe something else. Because when we create the table, we may not probably keep that in mind, use the same names. So here I might have kept a different name. So you can join them by whatever you want. So you are specifying which is equal to what. So there are some grammar, then there is a method by which you have got to use. And in the join, there is one more, outer join. Outer join means there is a two tables, a table 1, table 2. If I join table left join, let me explain what is the meaning of left join table 2. If I use this command, it will pick all the records here, and wherever this I have given a link, suppose I put table 1 some attribute, say serial number or roll number or ID. Okay, here also there is an ID. So this result will be all will get repeated. In addition, if there is a match here, that will come. So all left table entries with matching right table. Okay. Now, if I use this in the earlier example which I gave, if Suhail has 3 subjects, so he will get repeated 3 times. Shivam has got 2 subjects, he will get repeated 2 times. Ilango has got a 1 subject, it will get repeated only once. Baskaran has not taken any subject, but still, because the table's join is left join, my name also will come and the data side will be null, null, null. You get it? That is the meaning of left join. Now I can do the other thing, right join. If I put a right join, all the table data from the table 2 will come. Wherever there is a match, table 1 will be repeated. If there is no match, it will be null, null, null. So basically, you will get minimum whichever side that I am joining. If it is a left side, all that entry in the left will be available in the output. From the right side, only the matching entries will be picked up. If it is a right join, then all the entries in the right table will be available in the output. Those matching from the left will be picked up. Okay? These are the four types of joins. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The different types. Oh, here you only asked inner join, left join.
Sir, we can ignore this one, sir, question because we have not yet studied this.
Okay.
I simply searched what the sir was like mentioning this term, so I.
That's okay. That's okay. But the idea is this: they're basically talking about the number of records you pick up, which, irrespective of whether there is a match or not. Okay. So you take some examples and then play around in PG admin, you will figure it out. What are the most common mistakes students make when writing SQL queries?
Hello. When I was writing this SQL, sir, like most of the time it was giving me error. I don't.
Because you see, it is an interpreter.
Yes, sir.
you write and then send it to a, okay, I mean, the way that I would say the engine, SQL engine or a database engine works, I will explain it to you later. It has to go through multiple stages of parsing, query optimization, execution, things like that. It has got its own way of running it. So it takes a while. So you submit it, and it takes it, and then rejects or gives you a error. So most of the time you will find the error will be very unfriendly. It is not something like your Python. In a Python, what happens is it is a little bit intuitive, and it can tell you where the error is, and if there is a I would say syntax error, or the command is not, the code is not proper. Normally you get a pointer also saying at the column number, and then where the error is. So it is easier for us to correct it. Whereas in SQL, generally, it is very, it will simply say error. So the most of the error will come in, I would say, uh, space. If there is a space not there proper, okay. If it is supposed to be order by, who is that? Sorry. Yeah, 1 minute. I need to take the call. Can I take the call?
Yeah, yeah, sir. Sohail, are you participating in any event Paradox?
1 minute. 1 minute.
Manjeet ji, three questions. First one is
PPL,
Now, right? Uh, I'm in the class.
not PPL, PPL.
Kaushik, you are the volunteer of that event. You cannot participate in that event. Yeah, it's Paradox Premier League cricket.
Okay. All right. Huh. So the common mistakes, most of the time it will be a syntax, mostly. And of course, you need to visualize the logic of connecting the table and then picking the data. So these are the, because that is also an art. Unless you keep practicing it, you will. But one gets frustrated when we are writing the SQL, because the error reporting is very stupid. But it's not a very major problem. Okay, order of execution in SQL. What do you mean by this?
Yes, sir. Sir was discussing this ordering thing like group by, order by, from clause, where clause.
Okay,
Like,
I think we covered, right?
yes, sir.
Order, no, but there is something called an order. I will talk about it in optimization when it comes to query optimization. Okay,
Okay.
there we need to have a clarity, because you need to have some conceptual understanding.
Right now,
Right now, yes, basically, initially you select based on some conditions in the raw table, and prepare your view, what we call that output, either in ordering wise or by grouping. And after that, you may do some more filtering using the command called having. That is a sequence in which it operates. Uh,
yes.
one more thing you can understand is when I gave you that, select the teacher's salary greater than the biology's maximum, right? In which case there were two selects. So the innermost select of taking all the biologist teachers and finding the maximum is the first step. After finding that, the second select will work. So that will be the sequence. So if there are nested or multiple selects, the innermost select will get executed first, then the outer one will get executed, then the outer one. It goes from the innermost to the outer one. Okay?
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes.
If there are multiple selects, the innermost one will get executed and then the outer one. That is how it goes. Okay, character and where character is, I thought I explained to you once. You guys are not paying attention to when I speak.
So little bit clarity I need on this.
Don't listen, don't test with me. Little more clarity means what clarity you have.
This character.
Accept
Uh,
that you didn't listen. That will be better.
uh,
Character is used for a fixed length. When we define, say, name, character 20, and then say address, varchar 40. The difference is the database name will be always 20 characters. Address maximum up to 40. And if somebody's address is less, only that much will be the storage used. So this will be a variable character size. That is what it is the meaning of a varchar. Are you clear? In the
yes.
disk, the amount of space reserved for the variable will keep varying depending on the actual data. Whereas if I put the char, it will be uniform. Now we go into the disk. In the disk, if Suhail, his address is 40, it will be occupying 40. Suppose Shivam, his address is only 25, this is what the state. But whereas the name will be always 20. So for him, 20 plus 40, this will be 60 bytes. For you, it is 20 plus 25, 45 bytes. You see that?
Yes.
That is, it's basically the, I would say, the memory effectiveness. But there are pluses and minuses. If I use a fixed length, it will be easy for me to find out where the 50th record is because everybody is fixed length. I can simply go by the multiplication. If it is a varchar, each row will have a different space occupied depending on the available data. If since just because his address is small, his record is only small. So they are not easy to manipulate and multiply and then arrive at. Random access will be a problem. So those are all access versus the storage trade-offs you can.
Sir, the question, sir, the reason I added this question was there is one statement, sir, made in the class that in character, if you mention this any number, and if you enter any value, any input that is less than that, the remaining thing will be filled with spaces. Is
Correct,
it correct?
correct. In this I told you, no, here it is, the character is 20, right? So I kept 20 bytes here. 20 bytes will be kept all the time. Even if the name is only A, the rest will be blank. We are wasting the space. Correct?
Yes.
Whereas if I put a varchar, I would have taken only for 5 characters for the Suhail.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So
Correct.
here you save the space. Here you are wasting the space. But access wise, this will be faster and this will be slow. Trade off. That those depending on what you need to keep where. All right.
So, char will be, sir, more useful when the length of suppose the input is fixed, say four
Yes.
numbers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Suppose you want to write a comment. Suppose in the database you are keeping a comment or a remark or a review, which is likely to be variable length, and you don't want to keep waste the space, right? There you can put a varchar,
Okay, so got it.
right? And suppose an ID, student ID is all that's a fixed. Student ID has got some structure. It is not going to be varying, correct? The moment there is a structure, you can always come with the fixed. These are all the advantages. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Database design and ER diagrams. How do we decide when to create a new table versus adding more? This will come in the part of a normalization, which I don't think I did
I
not.
was simply going through some summary on the YouTube, sir, and there I came across this ER diagram and database design. So,
No, that's okay. These are all. I mean, as the week progresses, let's.
yeah, it is in week 5, sir.
So we will. What I mentioned last time also the same thing true. See, we have what we call data integrity. Why do we have if I can put all the data in one table, then it will be a master data, right? Why do I need to keep multiple tables? I can put all the data in one. But can I put in our example what we have taken one? Where is that? So students we talked about, right? Some artificial, yeah. Student, where is it? Ah, yeah, in this. Suppose we have student table. Why do we need a separate table for a course? Let's look at it. Here, what I'm keeping, each student has got only one record, correct? Here, what do I have? For each student, when the course is different, I have a record, correct? So, what is unique here? What is unique here? The combination student ID and course. This together becomes a combination because for A001 there is CS001 and for A001 there is a CS002. Correct? Now, can there be another record with A001 and a CS002? It, it is not required. It will be redundant information. So such records will not be there, in which case this table primary key will be the combination of student ID and course ID. This will become the primary key, which means they are non-repeatable. This combination. So if there is a student ID, then the course ID combination must be unique in this table. Only then it makes sense. Correct? So this becomes the primary key for this table. So now what is the advantage in this? The advantage in this is if Suhail takes one more course, all I can simply add that. I will just check whether that course has been already registered or not. If I get to know that Suhail has taken say BDM. All I got is check that combination. If it is existing, then I don't have to make any entry. If it not existing, I have to simply make an entry in this table only. I have to only modify the course taken table. I don't have to modify anything here. Correct? Now, instead of Suhail, if there was a girl child and she got married, her name changed. I have to only make the change in the name. I don't have to modify anything else. Correct? Later, Shivam got transferred to Bombay. His address changes. I have to make only changes in this record. Or maybe there is another table, which case student ID and the full address and telephone number, contact, email ID, that probably is kept another table. I can only modify there. Correct? So these are ways by which different departments, maybe one is there in administration department, one is there in the probably faculty, and fees are paid. For this course, the fees are paid somewhere else, and they will probably maintain an accounts department. Accounts department will have a student ID, bill number, receipt number. Correct? So there are different departments maintaining their own table, but then they are related by a common underlying field. The student ID will be a unique, will be student ID, whereas a course which is maintained by the faculty, they will have student ID and the course ID together as a table, and they will have a different table. Finance will have the same student ID and a bill number and a receipt number. And they may have another table from the bank where the receipt number is connected. So tomorrow, if somebody writes a letter saying that, look, I paid for this was my check number, I want that to be reconciled, or I have some problem or some refund or something. How do we primary keys and foreign keys are allowed actually enforced? Data integrity is not by that. Data integrity is by your design of this table. Okay. And primary keys and foreign keys are connecting the record. Like here, the example which we gave. How they are connected. Like, for example, you could say this is a foreign key. Okay. When you say foreign key, it means it is a key in another table. I'm referring it here. Now, the reason why if you define this as a foreign key is when you say it is a foreign key, if you are making an entry here, it will check whether the entry is available in the other table. For example, in this example, if I have in the definition, I have mentioned this student ID as a foreign key available in the student table. If I create it like that, the table was created with that condition. Later, if somebody is entering in the say faculty, somebody is entering A504 has taken the subject CS001. At the time of creating this will check whether this A5004 is available in this table or not. If it is not available, it means I'm referring to a student whose details are not in the student table. Am I right? It will throw error. I won't be able to create this. So the only way that I can rectify at that moment is I first create the student's name here. His name can be Chandrasekharan, something. I entered. Afterwards, then I enter in the faculty. Yes, that 504 has taken the computer science. Then it is allowed. So you cannot accept a receipt from a student whose data is not available in the database. So that how do I ensure? Or you cannot tell that some student has taken the course without having the details, the basic details about the student. So that is where we use the foreign key concept. A foreign key means I am referring to some key of another table which should exist. Okay?
Okay. Sir, how do we use a candidate key in SQL?
Candidate key is not used. It's a concept. I'll come to
Okay.
that.
Okay, sir.
That comes about the dependencies. I remember that last time I talked about dependencies. I don't know. I remember having talked about it. What is the meaning of a dependency? Functional dependencies in the fields. But you forgot, right? Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. All I'm saying is, look, I spent time and I explained to you guys in a different way. But then if you got it recorded, you should have listened to that again. Or you think about it, and then if you have a doubt, you can ask. If I don't know that you are not even able to understand, maybe my level of explanation is not sufficient, then how will I correct myself? I'm not saying it is your fault. It could be more largely my fault also, right? I may be assuming that you know and then probably use words and concepts which probably is hard to understand at the introduction level. So unless I get a feedback, sir, this is too much. Please use a different example or a different word and explain it little more detail. I will assume that you have understood what I'm saying, and I'll keep jumping up because there are. I
I
know
watched that, sir, 10 days ago, and like after that, a lot of this DBMS went through.
10 days. This what
Well,
I want some ideas.
Sohail, are you recording this session?
Who I don't know.
Ah, I saw that.
What I,
Okay.
no, what is no. I want someone to make an attempt to explain what initial understanding of FD is.
Functional dependencies are like attribute dependency. how attributes are the relationship between attributes.
Relationship between the attributes. Correct? Is it a relationship? Okay, you can call that as a relation. Yes. Let's look at it in this. Yeah, in this table, where the student table, how many attributes are there? Suppose student. Let's talk about a student. Say we have student ID. Correct? Name. Correct? Anything else? City.
age,
Sorry.
age,
Place. That is city, right?
Age is there, sir.
Age. Age. Okay. Okay. Date of birth. Because age is going to be changing, right?
Yes.
Date of birth will not change. Normally, you keep in database things which are non-change. From the date of birth, you can always derive age. But if you put a age, you cannot derive the date of birth. And it will become irrelevant after next year. So year by year after year. So always keep a date of birth. Then suppose these are the figures. Now, is there any relation between them? What can be completely independent? Correct? That doesn't
yes,
get decided by. So this will be name has to depend on the student ID, right? When we say name depends on student ID, how do we write that as student ID decides name, or student ID name depends on student ID? That's what it means. So this is the independent, this is dependent. Name depends on student ID is represented as student ID decides, dictates name. If we say this is true in this table, what it means is for a given student ID, there can be only one name. You remember what we write in the function f of x
Yes.
is unique. Once the x is given, the f of x is only one number possible. You cannot have two number, correct? This is not a function because for a one value of x, I have two value of y. So this is not a function. So function has to be f of x must be unique. Many to one is not a problem. No, no. For a given x, I should have only one f of x. That is why given f of x is only one. Same thing here. For us, if the student ID is given, it has got only one name. But the reverse is not true. Correct? For a name, I may have two different IDs, implying there may be more than one, two student having the same name. There can be a Shivam in Delhi, there can be a Shivam in Surat, but their IDs are different. So if I have an ID, it decides a name. The reverse, I don't know anything about. May hold, may not hold. If it holds, suppose, then we will say name also decides student ID. Okay? Student ID decides name, and for some reason, suppose I say name decides student ID, which means there is no two students permitted in this course. In this course, we allow only students with a unique name. Suppose that is a one condition. Then this is possible. In which case, I can identify the student either by the ID or I can identify by the name also, because the names are only unique. No student, two students are permitted to be in this course with the same name. Okay, now will the city depend on anybody? City also depends on the student ID. Given a student ID, he cannot have more than one city. Can he?
No, sir.
Date of birth obviously is depending. So in this record or in this table, most of these things will depend on a student ID. Correct? Now look at the course. What can depend on what? The course ID depends on the student ID. Does it? Correct? So they may be keeping only one mobile number connected to the account number. But in IIT, obviously I can say, look, I have two telephone numbers. I can. If they probably permit, they can have multiple. So to say they are allowing it. Or they may allow multiple email IDs. Sometimes they may not allow for some reasons. So these are all the business decisions. When they take that changes, and then when we are in change making the changes in the table, we will. So all these functional dependencies are all basically the reflection of a business rules. Okay. Now, when we create a table, we may have multiple functional dependencies, and there can be some reductions possible. Using those conditions, we will be able to identify uniquely a particular record in that table. That combination is called a candidate key. Okay. In this example, very simple example is student ID is the candidate key. It also is the primary key. In this course, is the student ID the primary key? Or if I tell you the course, I mean student ID, can you pick up only one record from here? Not possible.
No, sir. Not possible.
I need to have student ID and the course ID. Correct? If I give you both, then you can pick up exactly. Suppose it contains the grade also. Right? The course, student ID, course name, and the grade achieved. Now, if I want to know, I have to say student ID and the course ID, then somebody can tell me that is the score that he got on that. So I give some information which is the key, and in return I'm getting more information from the database. That should be there. Otherwise, what is the point in me giving, having a database? A database means it is keeping some data, and how do I extract it? I have to specify something to extract. So what I specify is my key. What I get out is my information related to the key stored in the database. Correct? Like, what is the purpose of the student database? It maintains all the students' name. If I tell only the student ID, I get the name. Correct? If I have to tell the student ID and the name, why do I need the table? You get my point? If this contains both, only these two fields, student ID and the name, only one of them can be the key. Both, I cannot say that can be the key. If I got to say A002 and a Shivam, what additional information I'm going to get it from here? So what I give, then why do I need it? What I'm giving is what I'm getting back. It is as good as nothing there, right? So every database is basically accepting a key and returning additional information related, connected to the key. That should be the concept. So when we break or create a table, we should keep that in mind. We are creating a table to hold some information connected to a key. So when the key is given, we are returning the additional information. right? Conceptually, always remember that. So a table is a storage space. My If my file size is the key, then what is the point in keeping a file? So the key is so small, and um, the box contains more information. So the table will have more information. But which information I want, I have to specify and give a key. So student ID is a simple, maybe 10 character long ID. Then I get his name, maybe I have his address, I have all the other information which I'm retrieving by using the key. Okay. These are the things which will come into play in designing the table and its linking dependencies. The dependency plays a role in that. I just touched upon the point of what is called a candidate key. What other points that you wanted? Well, where am I? Hmm. Yeah, relational algebra is. I think we this you should wait because I talked about it, but then it is a different way of representing an algebraic notation. It's not much. It's one or 1 week. I think we can cover it up. First, let us. You guys have got to watch and complete the ER diagram.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The ER. You have little familiarity on SQL. After this, we will talk about relation because SQL and these two are related.
Yes.
The select command can be represented as an algebraic notation. So this is a we will talk after maybe 2 weeks. First, next, I will tell you guys now what to concentrate. You probably practice first on SQL.
Okay, sir.
All of you should probably play around in the PG admin. If you want, I can show you how to write. If I mean, I can share my screen and then do that. SQL, you practice 1 week, and then FD, that is a functional diagram or dependencies. How do we identify the functional dependencies, and then one dependency and transient dependency, like student ID is deciding the name and the name is deciding the city. Then how do we extend that kind of a chain? Basically, that I would say X decides Y and Y decides Z. Then indirectly X is deciding Z also, right? Like that, there are interdependencies, and there are some algebraic simplifications you can do or expansions you can do. You practice those, right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir. We can skip these things.
and
Yeah, this selection and projection one. This is covered in week one.
it is okay. I mean, since you have mentioned it, yeah, it will take time to probably come. We will come to that.
Yes. Yes. Sir.
This is for optimization. No, it is a very much. Okay, what does this optimization means? I'll just touch upon that. Don't have to worry. Select something. from, suppose, table 1, join table 2 on some conditions. Say table 1 ID is equal to table 2 ID. Okay, basically we are talking about two tables, A and B. There is an ID here, there is an ID here. This can be, say, 1 million records. Here there are 10,000 records. That 1 million is, say, 1 million students, and this is a student ID. Or I'll put it the other way. This is 10,000. 10,000 students are there, and this is a course. Each student has got multiple courses, so it can probably go to 1 million. Right? Now, when I'm joining this and then picking up some data, how does it join? For each record here, it will take the ID. It has to scan all this to find whether it is matching. Correct? Because it has to pick up all that is matching for this particular ID. If this is a Suhas, Suhas, his ID, one entry may be here and maybe there is another entry after 5,000 entries. So he has to pick that, right? So he will read one entry here and go through all the 1 million, and second record, he will read all 1 million. Are you following the logic? So this becomes a very computationally intensive. Imagine if this is a 1 million and it is available in the disk in multiple tracks. All of them are not in one track, right? A disk, how is the data stored in the disk? There is a head. And when the head is moved, the disk is rotating. Correct? And it is writing or reading. So this whole thing is called a track. And each track is logically divided into sectors of, say, 512 byte. And there may be 256 sectors. So the disk, one track will hold 256 into 512 byte. So many kilo or mega, whatever is it. How much is it? It is 128 kilobyte. Correct? Are you following? I'm going too fast. That will be the track size. And after that, the head will move little bit inside, which will be another track. And there will be another 128. So track by track, there are data. So how many tracks are there in a plate? That will be the total disk capacity. Now, imagine this data in one record. Suppose it is 1 kilobyte. You can keep, suppose we are keeping this data. Course data is kept 1 million in this disk. So in one track, 128 records will be there, or rows. Correct? 128 records. but we have 1 million. So how many tracks it will be there? There will be many, correct? So if one record of here, if I got to read all, the head will come, it takes. Then next, it will move. This is called a seek time because the physical head movement, it takes time because of it's a physical movement, right? There is an acceleration, deceleration, and then stabilization. So normally it will be in the order of so many milliseconds. And when the head coming here, the data may not be readily available under the head. It has to wait for the disk to rotate. So depending on the RPG, whatever is the speed of the disk will tell what is the time that you have got to wait for the data to come under the head. That is called a latency. Okay. These will decide what is an average time for you to read the data from the disk. That will be in the order of a few milliseconds. Now, if I got to keep tracking 1 million data for each track, for a simple command like this to get the data, it will take few hours. You understand the complexity? What they do is we do what is called an optimization. We keep it in number of block wise. We read one block, and then this is small, this is large, so I have to probably do this. So what we will do is we'll do an optimization technique. Which one should I read and keep it in the memory, and which one I should probably go from the disk? This kind of optimization we normally what we do before actual execution. We simulate based on the past data, based on the memory availability. To do that calculation, the SQL is always converted to relational algebra. These things we will be reading probably after 8 weeks. But before that, we need to know relational algebra. We will do that on the 3rd or 4th week. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So we will be going into the depth of all these calculations. Latency, what is latency? How does it get computed? And how do we probably pick up the record size? Then from based on that, which is the inner loop, which is the outer loop, how much of the memory size that we have got, based on the memory, what kind of a block we will decide, and use this to figure out what should be the query quick way of executing it. That is called the optimization. It will involve a little bit of, I would say, computer engineering ideas in terms of when you compute the disk space and things like that. These are all computer science. A little bit of engineering idea will come. Okay. Elango has dropped.
Okay, sir.
Elango must have felt that this is too much. That's okay. Okay. With this background, at least I want you guys to start reading some and then come with little specific questions. We can address that.
Okay, sir.
Any questions from whatever I spoke?
There were some questions Suhail posted in the chat.
Oh, 1 minute. I did not see. Where is it? Oh, sorry, I didn't read the questions there. What is a data abstraction? What data abstraction? That's abstraction is what? Did I talk about abstraction to somebody? I did. What is the meaning of abstraction? No. comes in. Okay, but what is the meaning of abstraction? Apply. I don't think. Where do you use the word abstraction? I use it often, right? No, no, make an attempt. Make an attempt. I will help you to clarify that. Look, learning is by thinking. It is not by hearing. So I will keep forcing you guys to think. That is the only thing. You know where learning happens? Learning happens in your neurons. It's not in your ear. Eventually, it has to happen in your neurons. Some click, some link has to be there established. So exercise. Where do you use the word, or where did you hear the word abstraction, and what is meant by that? What is possibly meant? That is how we make a guess and then make an attempt. I want in every one of you to make an attempt to tell me what you think is abstraction. Shivam.
I don't know, sir.
No, I want you to make an attempt. It can be no problem. It can be stupidest way, but then that doesn't matter. Have you used the word before? Or have you heard the word before?
Uh, no, sir. Like, this is the first time
You mean you are hearing the word abstraction for the first time, is it?
yes, sir.
You never come across this word abstraction?
Uh,
Sorry?
Or taking out something or getting out something.
Fetching.
Fetching something.
No.
that is extraction.
Extraction is different. Extraction is squeezing, right? I mean, something to do with extract. He has extracted that. You are extracting juice out of a fruit, correct?
Yes, sir.
But abstract. Have you written a precise writing in English school?
Receipt writing.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
that is an abstraction.
Means quizzing the or means summary.
Summary, yes. When preview, when somebody say this is a preview or it's a synopsis. If you write a
Sir,
if you write an academic paper, they are supposed to give an abstraction. If you probably prepare a report, consultant, if you have become a consultant, you are going to probably do in a corporate world, they will say, okay, management summary. It basically, you are giving the essence of what the details report is. Okay? So that somebody can read that and then make an idea what it is about. That is called an abstraction. Do you get an idea what I'm talking about? Okay. Say, sometime back, I think you people have asked me what are we likely to learn in DBMS. Suppose I give a half an hour talk. I'm basically outlining the idea that you're expected to learn in this course. Basically, I'm giving an abstract review of the course. So abstraction is picking a summary, ignoring the detail. That is an abstraction. Okay. I would say, since you're not done MLF, right? You're done, of course, linear algebra. If there is a matrix, if I know all that what a matrix can do is only a transform a vector, right? And I can identify that property of matrix represent as an eigenvector and eigenvalue. I would say that I know all that about the matrix. Now, if I know these are the eigenvectors which are going to be affected significantly, these eigenvectors variation is not significant, I can ignore that. Then I would say this matrix has got 100 eigenvectors, but these eigenvectors are more important because they constitute 98% of the variation in the magnitude. The rest are all insignificant. I can drop them. Then I am giving an abstraction, what we call it as a principal component analysis. If I take the another example, there is a video. If I record it in a raw form, it's 1 gigabyte. But I can pick the most significant part of variations between the pixels using a matrix calculation, and I can compress it where I'm capturing the most significant ones. So there may be slight blur in the edges, but my data size has come down to from 1 gigabyte to 100 megabyte. It's a 1/10 of a reduction. So I can save it Sir, shall we close this? It's now 2 hours.
Sir, I was watching the lectures that was provided by ITM, recorded on YouTube. It was very hard for me to understand initially, but how can I watch the lectures and also understand along with this?
What lecture?
Sir, DBMS lecture.
What is what? No, no. You mean you are not clear of what he is telling?
No, sir, many of the terms what sir explain, and then I keep forgetting it, and then again I have to go back over there and watch it again.
That is what I kept on telling you guys. This is a very intensive course. It's a lot of too many terminologies, too many concepts. Even when I'm talking to you people, also, I must suddenly realize, look, there are too many things that I'm telling you guys. It must be going above our head, right?
Yes.
Look, this course is very too much of a condensation is done. Too many new things are being introduced for people who are not familiar about that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is why I mean, 2 3 weeks before when this group I have told whoever has taken a DBMS, please start immediately. I'm
Okay.
also now spending more time on DBMS because of that. Now, unless you like this, if you know what you have done is good. You at least picked up some doubts and listed and then told me these are the terms which I need to talk about. I can explain. So when you watch that video, whatever terminology, if you are not clear, write it down, post it, come to me next Sunday, we will talk about it.
Okay,
I,
sir.
step by step. So today at least I did look, I give different examples and then I probably make it simple to understand. Like a functional dependency, I gave you some ideas. Think about it.
Yes. Yes.
And then you maybe then if you watch it again, then you may be able to understand. Then pick up some problem and then solve. That will be clear.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So since you now not got that AQs and things like that, you probably are a little vague. Now, once we have some examples and then solve few problems, then it will be clear.
Yes, sir.
But I think whatever I have been talking, more or less, it gives the overall picture, how they are connected with each other. So,
Sir. Got a lot of clarity on this, how to start with the university.
yeah, you may have to watch this. If you're recording it, then you keep watching it more often.
Yes.
Some of the examples which I probably drop, I have tried my best to probably bring in the correct connection, so you will be able to visualize it. Even if first time may not be, but if you listen to the second time, you probably will click it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night, sir.
How long? 3 hours today, is it? You started?
Yes, sir. 6 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry. I kept you waiting.
Hey, no, it's fine, sir. We got to learn lot of things.
Listening to nice. I'm a very good storyteller. Everybody tells me that. Listening to the story is nice. It should
No, no,
stay. It should stay between your ears.
yes, sir.
Your neuron should click. I'm going to next week. I'm going to ask you what is a delta.
Okay, sir. We'll definitely figure
Look,
out. We will prepare for this delta, how to
I
answer
want
this
to see the
delta.
I'm a business guy. If my effort is not making an impact on my profitability, then I will probably choose something else to do.
Okay.
For me, I want to see the delta in you guys. Okay? Hmm.
Okay, sir. Thank
Good
you, sir.
night. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Bye. Good night, sir.